Hello, my name is Bill Stevens, and we came to the Mid-Peninsula as a result of my accepting a job at Stanford Research in Menlo Park. This was in 1959, and we started attending this church, and we absolutely fell in love with the congregation and have been here ever since. After a few years at Stanford Research, I was offered a job with a high-tech startup by the name of Datadisk in Menlo Park. But after a few years, the company wasn't doing very well, it was near failure, and the board of directors of the company decided that needed a new CEO, so they asked me if I would consider being the president and CEO, and I reluctantly accepted, not knowing whether I was up for the job or not. Former CEO and founder was, as they say, kicked upstairs, and it was an odd thing. The better the company did, the more there was a hate-love relationship. He loved the fact that the company was doing well, but hated the fact that he had not been able to get the company going, and that this young whippersnapper he had hired was able to do it. Well, there was a contentious relationship, and at some point it was clear that either he had to go or I had to go. And being naive, young and naive, I figured, well, I'd done such a great job that I certainly wasn't going to be the one to go. But as it turned out, the board decided that they could get another president and CEO, but they couldn't get another founder. So in June of 1970, I was fired. Well, Virda and I were pretty devastated for a few days, and after prayer and introspection, we decided that we would do some of the things we'd talked about doing. One thing was we'd discussed starting a company, and so out of our meager savings, we decided to launch the company. In the meantime, Virda had planned on having our daughter Jean in a preschool, but since we were on such a limited budget, we absolutely couldn't afford the tuition for preschool. So Virda approached the elders at church and asked if she could start a preschool, and she started out with a few children, and then after many decades teaching, the school blessed us, the congregation, and our community by being able to have low-income people attend this preschool because we didn't charge any tuition. I then started our company with a couple of Christian men. We had a few basic principles we wanted to do. One was we put in our business plan we were going to operate the company using Christian principles. We were also going to be absolutely responsible for customer satisfaction. We were going to try to do this by working a 40-hour week. We were tired of the long hours that is common among high-tech companies. We also encouraged our employees to have a life outside our company, so that they didn't have to sell their soul to the company. Yeah, through all this, we learned that through discouraging and disappointing times, that God promises that all things work together for good for those that love the Lord, as he said in Romans 8:28. And we believe that really happened in this case.